Hello, everyone. Okay, so we ended up having to do a slightly different venue for this interview, which is fine. Wilder right now. So while we wait for her to join, because I'm super excited, she has been great. Ah! Oh my God, you joined so quickly.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh,
I am so sorry for the Facebook
no,
issues.
that's totally okay. That's probably on my end too.
Yeah. Well, everything online said that I could make it work and watch your TV. So I was not expecting all the issues, but thank you for rolling with the
Oh,
punches
of course.
um, as I figure this out. So I had to show you before we started the interview.
Ah, yay. I'm so glad it made it to you.
It's gorgeous.
Thank
Like,
you.
mm, yeah. All right. So, sorry, go ahead.
So I was just gonna say I had a vision and I was very protective over that cover. I like went all in on it.
So I'll be honest, I picked it up and I was like, this is a book I would pick up in the bookstore because I'm one of those, I judge a book by its cover.
I appreciate that.
Um, and fun fact for the readers who don't know authors or ARC read, you have to pay for your covers to get them. Like, holy moly, I've learned things since ARC reading.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes,
Ugh.
unless you're like super multi-talented and have like designing skills, which I do not. My writing, I cannot draw. So unless you have that skill set, you got to pay someone else to do it.
One of my authors I arc read for showed me like the prices on some of this stuff too. Like,
Mhm.
it's especially for indie authors, it's
Yeah,
so hard for you all to get your book published, and a lot of times they're fabulous books. Um,
yeah, yeah.
okay,
There's a lot of steps.
so do you want to tell us about yourself, and then I'll start with the questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I'd love to. So I'm Olivia Wilder. I'm the author of To Pick a Violet. I am married to my college sweetheart, Josh. We started dating when I was 19, so we've been together for a minute. And then we have a beautiful son together who is 3, named Oliver. And he is crazy and wild and smart and funny and just the light of our lives. He's so fun. And so I've always wanted to be a writer. I started writing this book shortly after having my son. When I was up at night nursing him, or when he fell asleep on me and I couldn't move. And so I typed it on my phone, and that's how I wrote most of this book. I'd say 80% of this book was written on my phone, and then later, of course, edited and
Right.
made coherent. um, and so, yeah, that's me. I have 2 dogs, and yeah, that's pretty much me.
Nice. So I am sorry, my child just turned on our Spotify playlist.
Oh, you're good.
Um, so only 3 years.
Yeah,
It took you 3 years.
it did. It did. So the book idea has been in my head since I was 18 years old.
Okay.
And kind of the basic premise, like the very bare minimum of the idea, has been in my head since I was 18. And it kept coming back to me, kept coming back to me. But every time I think about writing it, I was like, but why? Why does it matter? Like, what's so important about this story that it has to be told? And it just didn't have it. It was flat. Like, there was no why to it. And so after I had my son, I developed postpartum anxiety and postpartum PTSD. I had a very difficult delivery with him. And so I started writing this character that I've been thinking about forever and ever and ever. I started writing her and kind of working through her trauma, her anxiety while writing. And it kind of was a cathartic experience for me as well, getting to work out those feelings and emotions in a safe spot. And so it gave the book kind of this
Realness.
realness, and this it gave it the meaning, it gave it the why read this book, why does this book matter, it gave it that why. And so when I started writing it, as you know, since you're a mom, there's all those hours where you're just trapped, there's nothing you can do, and that's what I did, as I just wrote on my phone. So
Well, so I haven't had a lot of time to read because
sure.
we've been talking chaos.
Mhm.
But what I have read, I was up at 3 o'clock this morning reading with my
Oh,
nightlight.
that's the greatest compliment you can give a writer. Thank you.
It's well, you've got a hook to it. Like I started and I was like, okay, okay. And then as I'm reading, it's just like I can't put this down. Like it's
Thank you,
just
though.
okay. So, questions. And I did want to show because we're both moms.
Yes, yes.
My child colored on my question.
That is the most authentic thing I've ever seen. I love
He was
it.
helping me write them down and I was like, dude, you are not helping this, but okay. Okay, so where do you write? Well, you already covered that. Never mind. I
Well,
was gonna say, where do you write?
I mean, now looks a little bit different than what
Okay.
it did. Since he's a toddler now, I'm not up in the middle of the night as often as what I was. But I still kind of write primarily, I would say, at night. I'm very much a night person. So once he's in bed, once my husband's asleep and the house is quiet, the one time the house is quiet, I usually write in bed next to my husband until I get really tired. And then I read for a minute and conk out.
So, as also a mom with postpartum depression and
Mhm.
anxiety, is that your like recharge time to write
Yeah,
and just kind of filter everything?
absolutely. Yeah. It was definitely a huge part in my journey toward feeling well again and before getting over postpartum anxiety and everything was definitely writing. That helped me kind of like work through those emotions in a safe manner. And then also, as I was writing my character Vi, but I didn't necessarily think that about me. I was like, she's such a strong character because she has all these fears and all this trauma that she's dealing with, but she still does the thing, right? She still gets up and does the thing.
Right.
And I started seeing that with her. And because I saw that with her, I started seeing it in myself as well. And like, you are strong. You are getting through this. Like, it's okay to feel this way. You're just getting through it, you know?
And that explains your signature.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not going to tell you what she wrote because you all need to go buy the book so you can see it. Just saying. Okay. So what would be your theme song if you could have a theme song?
Oh man, that's a tough one. You know, I feel like I write to instrumental
Okay.
music more than anything right now, and anything by Kelsey Wood. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she is a fabulous composer,
Okay.
and she's, I think, probably most known now on TikTok because of composing songs that align with the Akatar series. And her music is incredible. So anything by her is generally my jam when I'm writing. Like in that, like it's a beautiful, sad type melodic sound to it. And so I would say anything by her
Well,
probably.
so that is actually question 6. But do you listen to music while you're
I
writing?
do, but it has to be instrumental. I admire these authors that can like come up with these really cool playlists that have like absolute bangers on it. And I'm like, that sounds like so much cooler than what I write to. I have to have instrumental because if not, I'm gonna start jamming to it and I'm gonna like write what I'm hearing. So yeah, any type of instrumental, I love, love, love that. That helps me focus.
So Spotify actually has a really cool, it's called Medieval Lo-Fi Beats.
Ooh, okay. I'll have
So
to check
it's
it out.
kind of cool. It's instrumental,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
vibey.
I like it.
Um, okay, what's your favorite snack while writing?
Anything chocolate or anything sweet. I'm a sucker for sweets. I will always say yes to chocolate, unfortunately.
Are you reading my question? Because the next, well, one of them is white chocolate truly chocolate?
Oh, that is a good question. My husband would say no. He is not a fan of white chocolate. I love white chocolate. Like if I have a coffee order, like I love if it has white chocolate in it. That's always gonna be a sell to me, honestly. So I would say yes.
What's your favorite color?
Purple, if that's not obvious
I was
by
gonna
the back
say it's the purple.
the book itself having purple on it.
Well,
Yeah.
I had to ask because some people like they'll pick a theme and then it's actually not their favorite color, and you're like,
What?
How does
No,
this vibe?
I go all in on a theme, like all in on a theme, and you can probably pick that up when you see my books and everything. Like I go hard on a theme.
What's your current read?
I have just started the Atlas Six, and I mean when I say just started, I mean like I'm on page like two of the
Okay.
Atlas Six, and I just finished the Crystal Dynasty, which is by another indie author. It's a new release, and oh my gosh, what is her name? I'm forgetting right now. Abby Abby Mayer, maybe. My goodness, I'm the but that is what I just finished, and it was also excellent. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Physical books or digital books? And that includes Audible for digital too.
Perfect. So it depends on what I'm doing for sure. I'm listen to all three or do all three, I suppose you could say. So like if I'm cleaning, I'm listening to an audiobook. At nighttime, I definitely read my Kindle. That's like my support Kindle to get me to go to sleep. I will literally read until the Kindle hits the bed and I'm like conked out beside it. And then I love like during the day, especially when my son's around, to read physical copies of books, just because I want him to see me reading and know that I'm reading and not just playing on my phone. So a little bit of all. I definitely, I would say, probably read more on my Kindle than any other format, but I have three books going at any given time.
Same. Same. All right. As a mom, what is your least favorite chore? Household chore.
Gosh, laundry all the
Ooh,
way. I'm
okay.
terrible at laundry. I wish I could be better at laundry. At any given time, there's most definitely clothes in the dryer needing to be folded, clothes in the washer that needs to be swapped over, clothes, in the hamper on the floor that need to be washed. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
terrible at laundry.
And having a terrific toddler. I'm not going to say what I normally call my toddler.
A three-nager is what I call mine right now.
I'm not going to say what I call mine because Instagram might flag it, but it's does start with a T.
Mm-hmm.
They're hellions. Mm.
They can be, sure. Especially you'll fold something and then, they'll throw it in the air or wear it like a cape or,
Yes. Oh my gosh. The cape. My favorite
Mhm.
one is he put my husband's boxers on his head, and I
Yeah.
was like, "All right, bud, don't kick." Sorry, my infant's kicking the chair. Okay, what's your favorite season?
I love fall.
Okay.
I absolutely love fall. The leaves, the pumpkins, Halloween, like the whole thing. I love it. Cooler temperatures. I live in Alabama where
Ooh,
it's extremely
hot.
scorching hot. So fall, some of it, sometimes it's still very hot, but some of it is actually enjoyable outside, like a nice crisp 70. That sounds great.
No. I'm a fall person too, but see, and so while I was reading the book, I pictured you as a spring person.
I do love flowers, but what's interesting about me is that I admire flowers, but I joke that I do not have a green thumb, that plants come home with me to die. I am the opposite of Violet in that matter. I admire them, I love them. As you can see from behind me, my wedding ring's got a flower on it, but if it's not fake, it's probably not going to survive, unfortunately.
You keep stealing all my questions, and I'm loving. I actually asked, "Do you have a green thumb?"
Oh man, I really wish I did. So my mother, for my book launch, I had told her I wanted violets, and I couldn't find fake violets for my book launch. And my precious mother, who is so supportive, every single florist she could find, and didn't have time to order them. And so she went to Home Depot, and she found some violets, and she planted them for me and put them in a planter. And my book's been out a little over a month now, and they're still alive by some
Oh,
miracle.
okay.
Longest I think I've ever kept a plant alive, but I've got violets right now that are alive.
Sorry, I had to go find a passy.
you're, you're good.
Um, all right. So, if you could have any dream power, what would it be?
I think I like Violet's ability to heal. I'm gonna have to say healing abilities because, especially as a mom, that sounds lovely. Like, skin knee, better. Bumped your noggin, better. That sounds fabulous to me.
Well, that's what one of the things I was like, I wonder what her magic power would be. Like, would she want to grow something? Would she want to heal something? Would she want to read minds? Like,
Yeah.
it's just everybody's got
Mhm.
something slightly different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, okay, what's your muse?
Hmm. I guess it would depend on like what aspect of the story you're talking about. So like my MMC certainly has little glimmers, little pieces of my husband in him.
Oh,
Not the whole thing.
for
Go ahead.
for readers who don't know, MMC is main male character.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
run into some people who
Yeah.
read who don't know that.
Yeah.
So just
Sure. I'm glad you clarified that because definitely want everybody to be able to understand and follow along. So the male main character for sure has some like little glimmers of my husband in it for sure. Um, I would say like I think any writer probably would. The FMC, the female main character, definitely has pieces of me in her. Not entirely, but pieces. So like definitely real life. Like my family, my friends definitely help inspire the characters for sure.
okay. Um, so we're talking about characters.
Mm-hmm.
If you could create a character right now,
Mm-hmm.
do you have one in mind and is their story slowly forming?
This might be some news, I'm not sure, but I am writing right now a prequel slash paraquel, I guess you could call it, to Pick a Violet. So this is the events that are happening before, during, I guess you could say To Pick a Violet, but from some different characters' point of view.
Okay.
And this is going to be from my female main character's brother's
Okay.
perspective and the brother's love interest. And the love interest
Ooh.
is probably like Violet was very easy to write because, like I said, there was glimmers of myself in there. But this character has been so fun to write. I have thoroughly enjoyed writing her because she is the opposite of me, and I love it in
Okay.
every way. Getting to get into that mindset. So her name's Lark, and
Love the name.
thank you. She is like grew up an orphan, a thief, and a street performer to survive. She eventually enlists in the her kingdom's military for the stipend for having food, that kind of thing. And because of her skills, gets tapped into kind of like their special forces, I guess you could say, which is known as the Wolves of Varys.
Okay.
And so, yeah, she's like a scout, and I won't give away the whole story, but she's fabulous. I've enjoyed writing about Lark for sure.
Well, so there was a follow-up question to this one,
Yeah,
and then we just have one more unless you want to just keep chatting. It's totally
sure,
up to you.
whenever.
Um, but okay, so this is as a reader, not as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I've always pictured authors as doing like vision boards for their characters. Do
Uh-huh.
you do that? Like, do you go, this is what her nose looks like, this is what her eyes look like, and you kind of just piecemeal it all together?
That's a great question. And that's something I'm doing now, I would say, in the book I'm writing more than I did in my first one. In my first one, I had like a general loose idea, but I didn't have like a specific board. This time around, absolutely, I have like a full board that I'm like planning all the characters, and it's making it so much easier. I've certainly learned a lot from writing the first one. I will say though, in my first one, I am very particular, I guess you could say, about like all of my characters' names. So each of my characters, I did a ton of research about their names before picking it. Um, so Violet, for instance, what you may not know about violets is they're the first flowers in spring.
Okay.
They're very hardy. They can like survive super cold weather and everything. But they don't look like it. They look like these just like little delicate, tiny little flowers that could just blow over in the wind. But they're not. They're like super strong, hardy little things. And they also have medicinal properties that can help with inflammation, which, like, she's a princess that's trying to in this inflammatory war between her kingdoms. So I loved that. And then they also have some ties to various like goddesses and things like that throughout history, which will be touched on later. And so, very particular about that name. Kieran means little dark prince. And so, you know, he has these dark powers. Of course, dark hair too, if you want to be like very on the nose about it, I suppose. So it has meaning to that. Bryn has means like I think ruler, I believe is what that means. So like there's all sorts of like meanings behind the names. Lena, if you've met her yet, I don't know how far you've gotten, but Lena, when you meet
Oh wait,
her, you
I have.
may have, I'm not sure, but Lena, it means lion. Yeah, yeah. So Lena means like lioness, and she's like so fierce and protective, and so there's definitely some like meanings behind the names. If you at any given time look up one of my characters' names, you can probably get a good hint about where I'm going
Okay.
in their story. Because that's something I am as an author very, very particular about is names of my characters.
So I haven't gotten super far because of everything, but I really like Merrick so far. Like I'm like,
Yes.
and
Mer-
I'm and and I read the back. I've had to stop and read the back a couple times, and I'm like, but he's but but there's this prince. So I'm like, I'm on the struggle bus because I'm like, I don't
yeah.
know who to cheer for.
Yeah, yes. So that will all be revealed in time. I will say I absolutely adore Merrick as well. He's fun for sure, and you get to see him more in the book I'm writing now too, from like
Okay.
some perspectives. So I'm very excited about that to kind of see some of the main characters come back, but in like a different way and a different light than what you see them in this book. So I'm very excited about that. Can't wait to share that.
So when you were picking out all these names,
Mhm.
did you know like I want this super? Sorry, I'm trying to keep
You're
his
fine.
face out of it. There you go, Bubba.
You're
Draw nice.
totally good.
Um,
I feel at home here. I feel like very at home with you right now because that's what my son does.
good. Well, so the reason this all started, and I'll probably try and do this with every interview, is I've arc read for so many authors, but I've
Mhm.
never gotten to meet you all as people. Like you're always these wizards of words and give me like the escape from reality,
Yeah.
but nobody really knows kind
Mhm.
of like who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And so
I love that.
this started the journey, and I'm like, okay, well, if I can at least interview authors and then try and help get your books
Yeah.
sold, because and I just saw that actually C and Noble joined
Oh,
in, and I think that's how you found me, was
yeah.
through her post.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
the indie authors are all connected, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. And I have seen some of you all supporting everybody else, and it is just, this is
Mhm.
what the world needs, is people supporting people.
Yeah.
Um,
That's been my favorite part, to be honest with you. Like this, yes, being a published author has been literally my dream before I could even say the word author. But just like the community and the support, like among authors and readers in general, has just been so incredible to experience. And the people I've got to meet, of course, it's virtual, online, but just meet from all over the country, all over the world, truly. Like, I mean, I've been speaking with writers all the way in
oh
Australia,
wow.
and you know, it's fantastic. I absolutely love this writing community and just the people that like we all comment on each other's things and hype each other up. It's fabulous.
Well, so going back, because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a bouncing ball of energy. When you were figuring out the author or the
Mhm.
character's name, did you have like a vision board for that, or did you just write it down? Like, I know you said you used your phone a lot, so how
Mhm.
many notepads did you have open?
Man, at any given time, I probably have like 50 plus tabs
Oh,
on my phone. It horrifies everyone I tell, but that's just how it works. It's terrible, but I clicked through it. So yeah, I did work primarily from my phone. So my notes app on my phone was absolutely full of like potential names and notes and thoughts and ideas and yeah, all sorts of crazy things. It's probably, if anybody else were to read it except for me, it'd probably be incoherent because most of it was written at like 3 a.m.
Right.
But yeah, most of it was, I took notes on my phone, but I would definitely just, search on Google a lot. I'd be looking for names that mean XYZ. And that was kind of like how I group my stuff. I would have like, I have a section on the notes that says like FMC, and I had a whole list of names, potential names for Violet. And then when I figured out Violet, like that was her name and that was what fit. And then Fourth Wing rose to popularity, and Violet, of course, was her name. And I was like, oh man, I gotta change it because everybody's gonna think I stole Violet. And I was like, I can't do it. And so I left it. Um, but I tried really hard to come up with something else, but nothing fit her quite like Violet did.
So, speaking of Fourth Wing, as I've been reading this, I noticed that, but this Violet is such a different character. I was like, it's the perfect name for
Yes,
her.
yes,
And it's not a spoiler, but you know, the the first couple of chapters, you find out that she gets to learn how to fight.
yes.
And as I was reading this, I was like, and she grows, and it's just so. But now hearing the backstory to her name,
Mhm.
it's I love when authors just get everything to streamline. And like, and this is a plug-in for the TikTok signed book that you all can get. I even got a sticker
Mhm.
with flowers in it, and I was like, oh, she's good. Like, it's just, well, because then my card had flowers. I was like,
Uh, I
I
told
see you.
I told you I go all in on a theme. Like when I pick something, like I'm gonna go all out for it. The next book that I'm working on now is going to be Lark's Song. Lark is obviously a bird
Yes.
as well, and I've already got little cards with birds.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, I'm really excited for that. But I love a theme. I love like symbolism and like everything I say has the potential to have double meaning to it for sure in my writing because I love that. That is like my guilty pleasure. I will always put that in there.
Okay, so everybody who's watching this needs to go back and re-watch everything
Yes,
because we're gonna find double entendres throughout this whole thing.
for sure, for sure.
Okay.
I live for that.
Okay, so last question, and then I know you're a mom and I need to go finish dinner. But thank you again for doing this. This has
Well,
been
thank you for having me.
so
I appreciate
exciting. So this is the question I'm going to end every interview
it.
with. So everyone's going to get the same question, and it is, what is one question you wish a fan would ask,
Mm,
and what would be your answer?
interesting. That is a really good question. Um, hmm. Let me see. I guess probably like the why behind the book, which I know we kind of talked about a little bit at the beginning, but like the why behind the book of like what made you want to write this story in particular? Why does it matter so much? I mean, I literally got tattoo of the saying in the book after I published it because it was so important to me. So I guess the why, like why are you writing this? And again, for me, that was to kind of conquer, bring awareness to mental health issues and making sure that people see that and see that in a hero, right? Like see that in a brave, strong, and see that represented in a way that you do see that strength and it's not just like, oh, here's this side character that's rocking back and forth in a corner because they have anxiety. Like that's not what it always looks like. And so I think that's probably the thing I would love to talk about more and bring more awareness to. I've been very open about that journey for myself personally, and that's important to me. Is just to bring awareness to those mental health struggles and that it's okay to have them.
No, I, as someone who struggled with it,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me love this book even more.
Oh,
And I'm super excited that I got to interview you because I don't think a lot of people realize how
mm-hmm.
influential
Yeah.
books can be, but also mental illness. And there's just not a lot of support for women. So the fact that you found your outlet in a safe way makes
Mhm.
this book so much more powerful. Um, Also, I cannot wait for the next book. So I'm
Yay!
gonna finish binge reading this one.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear your thoughts as you read it too. And that's another thing for readers. Like, I love, adore when readers like message me and are like, they just did what now? I adore that. My messages are always open to that content. It makes me smile. It makes my whole week. So,
All right, well, everybody heard it here first. Message
mhm.
her while you're reading.
Yeah.
Because I actually almost reached out to you at one point because I was like, "You're gonna break my heart with this character."
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause,
I live for that. It fuels me, so please do.
and then let's see, we're gonna get ready to end. A, don't color on your leg. Thank you. Um, I'm gonna post this on my Facebook as well as the YouTube channel and put links for TikTok and everything.
Awesome.
I'm going to link your book,
Perfect.
so hopefully we can get more sales, or not we, you can get more sales. Um, and then let's see. Ooh, when can we expect Lark Song?
I am shooting for this fall. I would love to have it available by October, November.
Okay.
That's pending a few things happening, but I think it's gonna happen. I've been writing it for a month and I've already got like 36,000 words in it, so it's
Holy
flying.
moly.
It's flying. It's going fast. Flying like a bird. You know, I totally did that on purpose. Um, but no, it is going really fast. Of course, I'll have to edit it and polish and all that good stuff. But I do think we can expect it by this fall, winter for sure.
Okay.
So,
Do you have any questions or statements for me that you want to say for the viewers or myself?
I just want to say thank you again for doing this. I absolutely adore the thought behind it, and just I look forward to watching more of your stuff and more of your interviews and getting to know more authors.
And doing another one when your next book comes
Um,
out?
please, let's do it. Let's put it on the calendar.
Yeah. Hey, Hercules is still playing, baby. Sorry, that's how I kept him occupied because I played Hercules
You're good. You're totally good.
today.
I get it.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Well, everybody keep an eye out. Go support her to her TikTok shop. I will try and post links by the end of the day. I do have one other interview tonight, so it might
yeah.
be
All right.
tomorrow.
You're
But
good.
I am so excited. Oh, and then one last thing before we leave, because I just wanted to show you all how crisp and clean all of this thought process is. This is even the bookmark. Like, this is so well thought out. Like I was and then hold on, let me see if I can find one. All right. Page breaks.
I go all in on a theme. I'm telling
I know,
you.
but I was just so impressed that
Aw, thank you.
it's the little things that just so
Yes.
thank you so much. I hope you have a great night. Go spend time with your family.
Thanks. You too. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.